Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I'm back guys. Yes, I'm sorry for not making that many videos. So today we are actually gonna do an Source Filmmaker tutorial on a basic poster. I know there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube, but I just want to make it for my own channel, and it's kind of what I actually want to expand in the community. By the way, Valve, please actually update Source Filmmaker. It's really outdated, so you know. Okay, nonetheless, we have to actually get Source Filmmaker. So to get it, it's absolutely free. You don't need anything. All you need is actually space. So yeah. So what you want to do is actually go to Steam. If you don't have Steam, of course, download it. But I think all of you guys have actual Steam, because you know. So to actually see this screen, you have to actually download Source Filmmaker. So you want to do is actually go to the store and search Source Filmmaker. It's only on Windows, so you know you just have to have a Windows PC. So now what you want to do is actually get in Source Filmmaker. That's kind of obvious, isn't it? Okay, so when it's actually loaded, what you want to do is actually create a session, basically a project. So there's a new session, name your session whatever it is, and if you want to actually set your frame rate to whatever, I would not recommend setting it to like really low. If you're actually planning to make an animation, I would recommend setting the frame rate to 60. If you're just planning to do a poster, then of course it doesn't really matter, because it's only one shot. So yeah. So what you want to do is actually create the session itself. It's of course gonna show us this, no map loaded. So what you want to actually do is right click on the screen, you'll see load map, click on that, and then what you want to do is actually find a map. There's a lot of maps you can download from the workshop. If you don't actually know what the workshop is, basically it's over here. When you install the Source Filmmaker, of course you can go to the software tab and go to browse the workshop and find a lot of mods. Just search whatever. You can actually get mods from Discord servers, from websites, and so on and so on. Okay, so when you've done that, let's actually select a map. So I know this is actually loading slowly. If it's loading for you even slower than mine or anyone's, then it's actually gonna be not your fault. Maybe it is sometimes your PC's fault, but for most of the time it's not, because it's the Source Filmmaker, and you know it hasn't been updated. So yeah. So what you want to do is it's actually loaded the map. So what you want to actually do is click on the screen, hold left click, and you can actually look around. So you can actually look around. You actually can move if you press WSD. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. You can move around the map. Yeah, as you can see, you can actually go through objects. I know people will think that this is actually, oh, it's a glitch or some crap, but it's really not. It's not like a physical map. So what you wanna actually do is to actually find a spot for your model or the shot. So what you actually want to do is actually switch to camera by clicking on this cross, and then press on new camera. It's gonna show up and it's camera 1. Okay, so now what you want to do is to actually find a spot for your shot. So I found this spot. It's kind of random. If you have like an actual plot for this poster, then of course you can figure that out yourself. So you can actually zoom in with the scroll wheel or whatever actually button you can think of on your keyboard, not on your mouse. So I'm gonna actually zoom in, because I would love you guys to actually zoom in your SFM posters or anything really, but not too much that you can't see the whole object, or it's like really close to your face. Just do it like about this kind of size, I guess. You can actually fit like do it manually if you actually create a model for the camera, but I'm not bothered. So you can actually rotate with your R key. So just click it, hold it, and just move with your mouse. and it's gonna rotate. Don't rotate it too much because it's gonna look weird. So I'm actually gonna make this. Okay, so basically what my plan is, actually make some like heavy go through, or sniper or soldier I guess, go through this little corridor. So you can actually switch the cameras. This is camera 1, this is camera like the work camera, because obviously you need 2 cameras for this. It's gonna be twice as easy. Also, you can actually make 2 cameras appear on your screen by actually changing the amount of windows on your screen. So you have to click on Windows, then Layout, and select one of these, keyframing or sound editing. I know these are for the things that it says so, but it really doesn't matter. So there's gonna be 2 things on my screen now. You can actually move these around the size and stuff like that. So when you're actually done setting up, then you actually can start with the models. Make sure to actually click on this little motion thingy, because it's called the motion editor obviously, but click on this one if you actually wanna start moving things. Just click on this, it's gonna actually help you later. So now what you want to actually do is right click on this kind of gray space and create an animation set for a new model. Okay, so this is what you're gonna actually see. Now this is the fun part. You want to actually find your model. Now this is gonna be pretty difficult for newer SFMers. If you're trying out SFM for the first time, what you actually want to do if you're creating a TF2 poster, you want to actually do an HWM model. That is the highest quality models you can get. So put sniper in this filter tab, and you'll see the model here. What you want to do is actually select it and click open. Okay, so the model is gonna appear on the screen over here, but it's in the ground. I know some of you are actually gonna say that this is like a glitch or some crap like that, but it's really not. As I said, there's no actual physical flaws over here, it's just you can go through them. So you want to actually put him on the ground. So what you want to actually do, this thing is gonna appear. As I said, you have to actually go to the motion editor for this to actually appear. So what you actually want to do is click on this, hold it, and press shift and move it around, and as you can see, it's actually gonna be on the ground. It's not gonna get in the ground. If you normally would do this, and it's gonna like do this and stuff like that, you can just get him and like, it's gonna actually make it much easier. So just drag him to the spot you want him to be in. So that's actually fine. So just rotate him to a good spot. This is like the preview. This is gonna be the last shot for your poster. So now your sniper looks very still and stale. It looks just boring. Doesn't look good. So what you actually want to do is to actually make him look good, give him some personality and some actual like context to this. Make sure to actually save everything whenever you've done something, because you can actually press Ctrl S to save your work, because sometimes SFM would crash if you have like a lower end PC, so just press Ctrl S. So now what you actually want to do is actually move his bones by clicking Control and then clicking on one of these little sticks. So you might be confused why there's like many dots over here. These are actually like the for example, this is actually the glove itself. It's the back of the glove, I guess. Yeah, you don't really need to touch on that thing. It's a bit too complex, I guess. So what you actually want to do is to actually move his bones, and this is what's gonna actually happen. It doesn't really look good. It's gonna make the whole hand look very still, and I would actually prefer using a rig. So what the hell is a rig? Basically, what you want to do to get a rig is actually right click on the sniper model over here, right click on him, and there's rig. So what you actually want to do is to actually put rig biped simple. Wait for a bit, and it's gonna be over here. So what did it change? It put less bones. It's basically a simple rig. It's gonna make it more simple. The bones are gonna be more simple. So basically, if you move the arm, actually, like the arm itself, it's gonna actually move the arm and his elbow and stuff. So this is gonna be making it much easier to move him around and without any problems. You can actually put sequences if you can't put sequences if you're actually using a rig. That's kind of what Source Filmmaker does. You can't actually use it because it's like on a simple bone and it's gonna mess up the whole rig and stuff. So wanna actually, for this SFM, actually wanna make him just look kind of relaxed. So just move his bones around, make him actually look natural, not like really still and weird looking. Just make him good looking, I guess. You don't actually have to learn everything instantly. You'll actually learn everything the more you actually do this. So that's how I kind of learned this. I want to actually tell you guys that you don't really have to do the same thing as I did. It's just a simple poster. It's really, I just done it quickly. You actually have to take time on this if you're dedicated to do this, of course. If you're not, then of course you can just do it, whatever. Okay, so now what you want to do is actually put some face expressions. As you know, there's actually face expressions if you click on the sniper, and you'll see a bunch of options. Now, some of them don't do anything, some do, some don't. It's kind of weird, but I guess it's SFM. So this is the most creative part of what you want to do. Well, not really creative, but like more expressive. This is gonna be pretty complicated for some, but there's many tutorials out there for face expressions, so I'm just gonna quickly go over for this. So there we go, that's kind of like a small expression. There's more options out there. Of course, I'm not gonna go over them because it's gonna take a long time. So now let's get to the lighting. Okay, so first you need to actually create a light by right clicking on the gray space and create animation set for new light. That's gonna create a new light. Of course you can move it around, but that's actually gonna make it more difficult to actually make it good looking. That looks just bad. So what you want to actually do is to actually click on the model or lights, I guess, and drag it to one of your ports. So I'm gonna drag it to the work camera, and it's gonna be on my screen. So as you can see, you can actually move this around, and you know, this is actually gonna make it easier to put rim lights. Basically, rim lights are light behind, like the person or an object, and that makes kind of like an outline behind you, and it really looks good for me. So just kind of mess around with the lights. I'm not gonna do this fully as it's gonna take a long time. So that's gonna create like a rim light around him. As you can see, there's a difference. You can actually change color. So if you want it like to be that kind of orange color, and it's gonna be orange. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep it white because it's a rim light. So yeah, so now I've done a rim light. That's you can actually turn off shadows for that. You don't really need shadows, so just right click on this and disable shadows. That's gonna disable him, as you can see. And now what you actually want to do is to actually I actually moved that accidentally. So what you actually want to do is to create a kind of light above him because it looks really just boring, and create another light. There's actually, speaking of the amount of lights you can actually have, you can only have 9 shadowed lights, so I would recommend changing some to having no lights, no shadows. So now what you actually want to do is to actually just kind of highlight him with the lights, and it's gonna be like this, I guess. Depends on what position it is. You just have to really understand the perspective and the whole light system. I'll actually show you on the screen right now. So when you actually done that, press enter to actually save the motion editor. Now it looks really bright, and it's it's too bright. Lower the intensity, so it looks kind of natural. It's a natural color, or I guess intensity. So speaking of actually color, actually I'm gonna change that to more orangey, so it looks nicer, blended in with the his jacket. So that's gonna change it, looking like that. I'm actually gonna change so you can't really see the bottom part of the light. Okay, so when you've done that, if you're actually happy with it, you can actually add hats. If you don't know, obviously you can add hats to him. So what you actually want to do is to actually, if you want to actually add a hat, you actually have to get rid of his hat, because if you actually add a hat, it's gonna clip through it. Obviously it's not gonna remove it instantly. So what you actually want to do is to actually go on the sniper, right click on him, and go to set body groups, and go to the hat and set it to none. The hat is gonna disappear. So now what you actually want to do is actually add a hat. So either you can actually find a model for it, that's kind of harder, but you can actually right click on the sniper and add Team Fortress item, and there's gonna be a bunch of lists of it. So I can actually add like a bounty hat, I guess. It's like a pirate hat, I guess. I guess that's kind of fine. I'm probably just gonna leave it. So just kind of mess around, do your own thing. It's really all creativity for SFM and how it looks like. Of course, you can go to Discord servers and send your artwork that you've made. People are actually gonna help you with it. They give you suggestions and stuff like that. So yeah, that is kind of everything. So when you're actually done doing everything, I guess, if you actually think you've done everything, you actually have to set your render settings, because you don't want it to look like this. It looks horrible. I'm just gonna quickly actually add a camera so there's not much bloom. I really don't like bloom, so I'm just gonna lower the amount of bloom. So to actually set the render settings, you need to go and right click on the screen. This is gonna be the render settings. You don't want this grain things, black stuff on your characters when you render the poster, because it would look bad. And also you don't want motion blur. That's the most important part of a poster. So just quickly untick it. Set the depth of field to either 512 or 1024. I'm gonna set it to 1024. I know there's not much difference between them, but I'm just gonna set it because it might be some kind of, because sometimes when I render the poster, it looks kind of bad. I don't know why. I don't even know if it's only source filmic or something. I don't know. So that's it for the render settings. You're done. Click OK, and actually save it again. When you're done, go to actually file, then export, then poster. So now what you actually want to do is actually set the format. Of course you want to do it either JPEG or PNG. I would recommend PNG because it honestly doesn't look that bad. And also you actually want to set a resolution. Okay, so this all depends on what your quality of SFM. And now export poster. So literally it just ended. rendering, and there we go guys. This is the poster. I know it's not great, it's pretty bad actually. So there you go guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, also subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and also turn on the bell notifications to get notified every single video I upload. And always guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.
Feel that healing beat.